Hi, I'm Paul from VeloWorks, and you might remember the video that we did about a Raleigh burner restoration and how we stripped it down and sent it off to Argos Racing Cycles for refurbishment. Well, it's been back for a while and it's time to get on, get the parts polished and get it rebuilt. Come join me and see how it goes putting it back together, and join me at the end for the big reveal. So some of you of a certain age to me, maybe a little bit older as well, will remember the Raleigh burner, an iconic BMX from the 1980s. Ooh, the marketing, I mean, they probably didn't even need to do any marketing. Just a poster or a picture of this thing sent shivers down your spine, with loads of teenagers and young people, kids wanting this. Was it very practical? Probably not. It's pretty heavy and it's got plastic wheels, but who cares? It is lovely. So we've done some previous videos of this restoration, of stripping it down and the state it was in before. I've been commissioned by a customer who's owned this since new. He's let it go downhill a little bit, so there were some limitations with the restoration. For example, being able to bring the wheels up to like their original colour. The front's been not so bad, but the rear's been a little bit more challenging. Getting spare parts for this has been really good, but it's come up lovely, and full consultation through the restoration with the customer. He knows that there'll still be some bits of rust here and there, but let me take you through the restoration because I'm super happy with it. It's the first BMX I've done, and I just think it's a really nice one, especially to get dialed in just before Christmas 2024. So Argos Racing Cycles have dialed us in with this sweet paint job. If you don't know who Argos Racing Cycles are, have a look at them. There's also a video just here where you can see the work that they do, and they are our frame resprayers, and I reckon they're the best frame resprayers in the country. They've been able to get all of the decals for this bike, even the forks. They take off the original head badge, give it a little bit of love, and then put it back on. And yeah, it's amazing. Even little stickers like the Carbo Spec sticker down on the seat tube, they've been able to do. And what they do is they do all the paint and then they lacquer over the decal, so the bikes come back even better than before, because sometimes the stickers would just put on top of the paint and then they would rub off as they would get abrasion on them, or people would sit on them or wipe their foot, drag their foot over them. So they really, really, really dial us in with this paint job, and they do work that I couldn't even think about doing. I'm always in awe of what they do, so definitely look them up. So they've dialed us in with a lovely paint job. There's also Raleigh under the protectors. This was the main challenging one. We didn't know if we'd be able to get the fork decal, so yeah, really happy about that. As mentioned, I've polished up the wheels as best as I can. I've done a lot of hours into the wheels and I'm happy with them. There's a limit to how much I can get them looking like new, and also there's a limit to kind of the budget on projects. You could chuck infinite money at a project, but there has to be a limit for the customer, for us, for everyone involved, so we're not there for like months on end just doing one bike. But I'm really happy with it. And also the good thing about restorations like this is you want to show that it's had some age. You don't want it to be completely new, because it's got a history, and it's got a history for the owner. All the components have polished up nicely. We've had a new chain, rear cogs, we've got the handlebars repainted, we've replaced the brake levers because the old ones were a bit shabby, and I've even managed to bring the grips back to life. The other one on the left hand side one was a bit broken on the end, but I've managed to kind of nicely glue that and put that back into place. There's always the option to put modern grips on, but I think for the restoration, for us to give it back to the customer, it's been nice to use the original. So a few other bits that I've done on the restoration: crank or kind of chain protector was a little bit damaged here and there, and the paint was pretty bad, so I've touched up little areas and kind of faded them in so the paint looks old. I'm really happy how that's come about. You'd hardly even notice it. It's had specific brake pads, so these are Skyway Tough wheels, and they've got to have specific brake pads that match the colour. Someone had put blue on here before, so they were all blue marks down the rim. So yeah, they've worked out really well, and the brakes are really nice. I wouldn't say the stopping power is amazing. They should get better if someone decides to use it, but they work, and they work well and good enough. We've been able to source nice, exactly period correct, same size tires in blue, which is just a godsend for a build like this. So I'd say there is a good market for these kind of bikes, because it's not been very difficult to find replacement parts, for it, and that's been really good and really handy. The rear cable, so we've cleaned these up as best as we can, and the rear cable was touching the frame in here, but I've actually put it on the outside of the padding because I don't want that just to rub against the frame and rub against the new paintwork. Again, if the owner wants to do that, they can do that, but I think it's going back more as a kind of show condition, but it's still super usable, but that's why it's on the outside there. I love these pads. I mean, they're so over the top. You've got one for your middle bits, your front middle bits, and your any front bit that is going to hit there. So yeah, just a really good time in cycling. And so yeah, sometimes a bit over the top marketing, I don't know, but again, people see this and it's just iconic. So I'm super happy with the build and giving it back to the customer tomorrow. As you can tell, I'm very excited. It's really nice because it's quite a labour of love doing the restorations. They go on for quite a long time. There's lots of back and forth, making sure everyone's on the right page with the outcome. And I'm hoping that he will be happy. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on this beautiful bike. For me, doing this type of work, I mean, now I don't know how many we've done, but I could do a PowerPoint presentation with the amount of restorations I've done, and it's a real part of my job that I could be really proud of, to say that I've given these bikes a new lease of life for their owners or for loved ones. And yeah, it's great. So absolutely love it. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.